A really common problem in relationships is when our partner has a deeper emotional connection with a friend or a coworker, and it's usually the opposite sex. Have you ever had that situation where you're just begging to know more about your partner or hear about the intimate details of their life or their feelings, and they share it with somebody else, and they usually say something like, "Oh, they're just a friend. It's not a big deal." And you're like, well, why'd you tell them? Why aren't you telling me that stuff? Oh, I didn't think about it. Does that sound familiar? And you're like, what do you mean you didn't think about it? I'm your spouse. I'm your partner. Those are things you should come to me with before you come to anyone else. It's like crazy making. You feel confused, rejected, hurt, frustrated. And it just makes no sense. And you beg and plead, but they keep doing it. Well, there's a common reason for that. And as I said, it's not your fault. The reason somebody will, say, be in a primary relationship with one person, but then find somebody else to be emotionally available with is, it goes back to their childhood. They were smothered. They were probably the golden child, or they had a parent who was sick or hurt a lot, and they had to take care of them physically, emotionally. Maybe they grew up with an alcoholic or an addict, or a parent who is divorced, and during the divorce, they leaned on the child emotionally, made them a surrogate spouse. Many different ways, but the point is as a child, one or both parents latched onto them deeply emotionally. So maybe your partner is still like every day talking to one of their parents, like there's this suffocating connection between them, or they're completely frustrated by their parents. They just get irritated because that parent has been so suffocating all their life. Well, that's why they can't open up to you. And so do you see why they would pick somebody that they're not in a primary relationship with? Because it's the only place they can feel power. So let's say I was married and I open up to this woman over here. Well, do you see how I have power over both women, but I don't have to be intimate? I'm in a primary relationship, and maybe I'm sexual and everything with my wife, but I have this woman over here who really likes me. That's why she's always there for me and supporting me and listening to me, but she can't have sex with me because I'm married. So do you see how I have power over her? I get all of her time and attention, but I'm not really intimate because I'm not in a relationship with her. She's just a friend, but I have the same power dynamic with my partner. Yes, we're having sex, but I'm not opening up to her. And women, same thing. You're seeing a lot of this now with women. Women are emotionally unavailable. They have a surrogate, have this best friend who's a guy that they tell everything to, but they don't with their partner. Well, that's why. It goes back to, it's something called love avoidance. And it's because of what they went through in childhood. And so here's it's not actually so simple. These are very complex dynamics. And if it's really toxic and bad, it's something you'd want to set an appointment or get in touch with me so I can walk you through it. But the first thing is every time for their attention and you want to connect with them, they're feeling suffocated. So the more you chase them, the more you attempt to get them to open up, the more they're going to push away. So stop. Just stop. Stop chasing them. Stop asking. What that'll do is it'll trigger some abandonment fears. That's part of what's underlying condition of the love avoidant. And they'll start chasing you. But be slow in how you open up. Don't get sucked in and believe, and be like, oh my God, they're all ready to open up to me. It's a long process. But if this dynamic is very heavy and toxic, you need to work with someone like myself to get through it and get true connection you're after. But that's a simple tip for you is the more you chase them and beg them for that connection, the more they're going to push you away. So what you're going to have to do is start searching out friends and that you can open up to emotionally, and you can get the connection you're missing from your partner. That's what you're going to have to do for a while, is pursue it with, outside sources that are healthy. You don't want to create the same dynamic you're going through, but you need to go get those needs met elsewhere. So again, if this is a really toxic situation, get in touch with me. You know, obviously this is a much deeper topic than just this video, but this at least gives you sanity back of, okay, now I know what's going on. I'm not crazy. It's not me. They just have some pain from their childhood that they haven't quite overcome yet. And if they do that, if they should decide to do the work, all of this can be turned around really quickly and easily. So I hope that helps you. Have a great day.